Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel and welcome back to some Medieval Dynasty, where today is release day, full release day. The game is now complete, although I'd imagine there might be some add-on stuff hopefully later on in release, but obviously there is some new stuff actually added on release day. There is bandits, I believe, there is herbalism, although that may have been added since I last played it a few months back. And there is a few other new bits, which I can't quite remember all of it. But we're going to get into this and have some fun building our own community and seeing where it all leads and actually completing the full story that is in the game. And see how that has changed up to the point where I did. Because I can't remember how far I actually got. I don't think I completed it when I played it in early access. But let's get into this, and I hope you enjoyed the video. If you do, remember to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and let's get building.
I used to have a simple life. Whatever needed doing round the farm, I'd do it. Being the eldest son, it's tough. But at least we had a living, and our plates were never empty. Then, the war came. I lost everything overnight. The last thing I remember is Father pushing me away, yelling for me to run, to live. At first, I didn't know what to do. Then, I remembered. A story my mother once told me. A story about my uncle, Jordan. He made a modest fortune up north, in a peaceful valley far away from the war. For weeks I held on to that thought, until the valley from my mother's stories. I could see it. This is where I can start a new life.
So there you go, that's how we come to this valley, and that is war for you. Now we will obviously be doing a little bit of fighting when we get to the bandits. Let's see how good that goes for us. So this all looks very samey. And I'm going to start off by collecting some sticks. Actually, that looks very much the same as it was, which is fine. Yeah, and then there'll be some stones around here. But anyway, let's get... Where's that? Oh, that's sticks. Let's get into starting a new life. And even the... Okay, the tab opens the chapters. The map, that all looks the same. Ah, that's a new village. Because that was an unnamed village previously. And... otherwise, everything else looks the same, so that is fine. Oh, we can add waypoints as well now. Awesome. And skills. These have probably changed a little bit. Yeah, they probably have changed a little bit. We'll get into those as we level up. And then there's technology. We should have some points in survival already, because we picked some sticks. Yeah, so that'll be the easiest one for us to get going. Fishing hut 2, herbalist 2. Herbalist will be an interesting one. Hunting, herbalist, fishing is in the order. Food storage barn, well, is something new. Pigsty goose, yep. Kitchen, that'll be good. Smithy, sewing hut, workshop. Kitchen is new. Resource storage, woodshed, simple house. I think we can build a house to begin with, but not a simple house. But anyway, let's get moving. Let's get into this. And I will pick up some stones along the way, because they're a pain in the ass to find to begin with. And then later on, you get way too many of them. Plus, it helps speed up my leveling up. And look at that. We are back in this lovely, lovely valley. Doesn't it look gorgeous? I mean, if this was flatter, I would build my village up here. But, I don't know, could we potentially build our village over here? I mean, it's semi-flat here, but I don't think I could. Really, no. I think there's only one real place you can build the village. And I wonder... Oh, they're taking away the shed from out here. Because you used to be able to find some goodies in it, but it's gone now. I suppose that saves me stealing on my first day. And right, in we go. So, talk to Castellan. Aw, look at the baby geese. Yeah, geese, ducks. Zybert. You look like you shit yourself. He probably has. It's a baby after all. Oh, even the pub's changed. Now open plan. Look at that. And Castellan is around here somewhere. Yeah. It's not Castellan, it's Udigost. Those eyes. I don't think I would see them again. One blue as the sky and the other black like the coal. Are you alright? You look like you've seen a ghost. Exactly the same way. Okay. So you're not a ghost? Good. For a second there I thought I'd lost it. Haha, but your eyes look just like him. Sorry, you must have been mistaken for someone. I'm new to these parts. Just arrived in the valley. Actually, my name's Rasimir. I'm Wander's son, aren't you? Lordan's nephew, or Jordan's nephew. Where did you know my mother? Not really. I knew of her. We didn't even actually meet. He wanted to keep his families separate. I don't think I understand. You will. Wait. What do you mean by did? I know her. Is she well? I hope she is now, wherever she might be. I've lost both parents in the war. Damn it, the world. Sigh. I guess it would be cruel. It can be as cruel as it is beautiful. I'm sorry, you my boy. Nobody should lose their loved ones at such a young age. It's okay. They've died so I could live, and I plan to make the best of my life that I can in order to honor their sacrifice. That's a very mature of you. I'm sure they would be proud hearing that. You mentioned my Uncle Lorden. I actually came here looking for him. Oh, Rasimir, I hate to be the bearer of bad news. Your Uncle Lorden is no longer with us. He passed away 3 years ago. I am so sorry. I understand how you must feel. He was a dear friend of mine. So that's it. I'm the only one left. Don't say that. Hey, look at me. This valley is filled with warm-hearted people who can gladly aid you with whatever you need, and I'm one of them. So what should I do? You are free to go wherever you like and start a new life. I hereby grant you the permission of Castellan to build a farm on any unutilized land in the valley. Construct yourself a house and see what comes next for you. You can even build a whole village if you please. There are many travelers passing through. Maybe some of them would like to join your settlements. Just like that, I can take the land for free of charge. Well, you'd have to pay taxes to the king annually, but apart from that, you're free to do as you please, as long as you don't break the laws, of course, or at least don't get caught doing so. Like I would break the laws. Or get caught. That's amazing. The valley. Okay, yep. So, basically, we are good to go. When you build yourself a house, come back to Gostovia and talk to my wife, Dobrin. She manages a tavern. Ask her to feed you. You must be famished. And then grab some beers for both of us and come back. I'll tell you some stories about Jordan. Awesome. Right, so gathering resources. Yeah, that's fine. Are you tree cutting? Yeah, it's fine. Lamberta. Wait. No. Don't we have a... No torch in slots. It's not that one. What is the key bindings? Skills, inventory, last tab. Inspect modes. Some amounts. Technology management, last tab, inventory, journal, skills, map, interact torch, take out item, knowledge, jump, crouch, sprint, change to walking mode, inspect mode, alt, creation mode. Ah, there we go. So, yeah, you are someone I can hire, but I obviously can't do it just yet. So, what I need is probably a few more sticks. Actually, can I handcraft an axe? I can. Awesome. So, I have my first axe. I then need a hammer. That automatically goes into the one slots. Hammer, cut down trees, and straw. And that is cut down. I shall collect sticks. Oh, another stone. And I get loads of sticks from doing that. Good. Pick up those. And another stone. Like I said, stones, a pain in the arse to begin with, but you get loads of them later on once you get a mine, basically. And straw. Reeds? Yeah, that's straw. Collect a load of it. So we need 32. Shouldn't be too hard. Just stand here for a few seconds. Okay, it is a pain in the arse. It takes a while, but we will get there. And there we go. Right, so we just need the hammer now. So do that, wooden hammer. That allows me to build and repair things. Now I just need to cut down trees. Shouldn't be too hard to do that. Oh, punch the tree. That's not what I wanted to do. That's entirely wrong. And then, oh, it's landed on my head. Good job I don't take damage from that. I think it's Valheim that is the case. Ah, I'm encumbered. That is because I've got too many sticks, I would say. Oh, I've got dried meats. Oat roll. Feathers, apparently. And I got 50 coin. So... +5 food. Weight 4. That actually weighs 4 kilos. And I've got 20 of them. That's why it weighs 4 kilos, because I've got 20 of them. Fine. And that gives me 5 food. That gives me food and water, so... Last one. There we go. Okay, so encumbered. Damn it. How many sticks do I have? Only 23. It's the stones that are weighing me down. Wait, can I... Stone pickaxe? Stone knife? Let's make one of those. That's better. And a wooden hoe. Yeah, let's make a wooden hoe. There we go, not encumbered now. Right, so we might as well get to where we want to build our house and then chop down a few trees, because otherwise we're going to get encumbered again. And I'm thinking... do I go... I kind of want to be central. It just makes sense to go there. It is the generic place to build your whole village. But it is open, it's central, it's relatively flat. So there's nothing wrong with going there. Apart from everyone will be going there. Everyone will be building there in every version of the playthrough. But like I said, that's all hilly. That's forest. This and this is probably the only two places you can really realistically build and have enough space to do anything. I'm not sure about the other side of the river. Maybe you can go on the other side of the river. But let's just take shortcuts. Nothing will attack me because I am amazing. And I have a trusty axe and a pointy stick. No, pointy knife. Probably not all that pointy because it's made out of stone. We're not going to go here. We're going a little bit further on. I do appear on the map. Okay, so just after this fork, I think, is where we're going to go. So let's chop down this tree. Almost out of stamina. That'll get better. Our stamina regen will get better. Or our stamina usage will get better. And we'll see how well it's changed, because you can only really cut down 1 or 2 trees before you run out of stamina before, and it probably is the same. And yeah, extremely heavy now. But what we can do is we can build a simple small house. And I might make it so I'm facing the river. Can I build it over here? I can't build it on the... Actually, no, we're going to build it there, actually. Yeah, let's go for exactly there. And there we have our first achievements. And then, is our hammer not equipped? No. So 2. I can go in 4. You can go in 3. And you can be equipped, and that's it. So 2. This is where we use up all our sticks that we've been collecting, which is good. Ooh, can I make it straight into stone? No, I obviously need a skill for that, which is fine. Okay, so 1 level up in survival already, and I am rather encumbered, but let's go, no, build the remainder of our house. I think we've got enough, we're about to find out. And let's get rid of the logs, because that's what's weighing us down. No, we haven't got enough sticks by the looks of things. One log there, 1 log there. We need more. Fine, let's get the roof done, because that gets rid of the straw. And I suppose, actually, let's take a look at our skill, because that might help us. Survival knowledge, 5% more experience gained from survival activities. 2% insensitive, 2% more temperature tolerance, iron liver, 25% higher poison resistance. Okay, I'm thinking just experience, because that makes more sense. We just level up quicker then, don't we? And this is a bit slow, but day 1. Can't exactly build an entire village on day 1, but building a house on day 1 might well be possible. Okay, we're out of sticks again. No, we're not. No, we just got enough to do this wall. And we're less than halfway. But I should have enough to do the ceiling, the straw. And then once I've got that done, I like how the stamina is used differently now for building. It's actually lasting longer, which is good. I like it. Alright, we need more sticks now, and 1, 2, 3 more logs. Yeah, so 1 more tree and about 20 more sticks. Okay, and we are done. So, talk to Dobringer. However you want to pronounce her name. Right, we can put the feathers away. I'm going to put the logs away, the sticks away. I'll put the stones away for now. The 1 straw. I randomly picked up 1 of those. And what I am going to do is straight away make a little bit of a garden. Where does it come under? Gates, fences, buildings. It's not roads. Campfires. Don't have sticks. I can make a rabbit trap. It's not fences. Building, hunting, farming. Orchard or field. Field is the one I want. And I only want it to be 9 by 9. Or 4 by 4. 5 by 5. That'll do. And then we got a hoe. There we go. There we go. This should help me. Field not grubbed. I need to plough it first. Oh wait. It seems bigger than before. Okay. Why does that not look right? Fertilize. That's fine. Not grubs. There we go. There we go. We're getting there. I feel like I've chosen a bad spot. Or I'm just doing this in a really awkward way. That's that. There we go. So it's now fertilized, which is awesome. And we just need to... No, not grubbed up. Oh no, there we go. Food storage now available to us. Good. But we need to go talk to Dobringer. And I need a drink as well. So let's get a drink. I think I can just do that here. Actually, I'm going to plant a... Not plant. What do you call it? Puts down a... Animal traps. I need more sticks, basically. More sticks needed. Okay, awesome. And then stick that just there. Awesome. Right, see if we can get back to town before Dobringer goes to bed. Okay, so hopefully we've made it back to the pub in time, because I really could use a beer right about now. And it looks like we have. Talk. Hi, you're Dobringer. I think that's right. Nice to meet you. I'm Rasimir. That's right. Nice to meet you, Rasimir. What brings you to me? Unigos told me that you could fix me up some food. I haven't eaten a proper meal in weeks. Well, it depends what proper means to you. I can offer you something warm and filling. That sounds more than amazing. There you go. We got porridge. Tell me something about yourself. How do you know my husband? There's nothing much to say, really. I've just arrived in the valley looking for my uncle Lorden. Didn't expect to be done searching so quickly, to be honest. Oh yes, he was Unigos' friend. I remember now hearing that he had eyes just like yours. I'm sorry for your loss. That's okay. I don't even remember him really. Most that I know about him is from my mother's stories. She always looked up to her big brother, loved him furiously even when he stopped visiting. A lot of people did from what I've heard. There's something special about him. Yeah, tough shoes to fill. The only shoes that you need to worry about filling are your own. Every man is the architect of their own fortune. Thanks for saying that. It's what I needed to hear, but let's not talk about me anymore. What's your story? I was part of a traveling band of troubadours. I've never managed to learn how to play any instruments, but I was pretty decent with my singing. Our travels brought me to this valley not long after the death of your uncle. I still remember seeing Unigos for the first time. He had such sadness in his eyes. Jordan wasn't just a friend of his, he was part of him. The band left a few days later. I stayed there. There was something in Unigos' presence that I simply knew my place was by his side. You probably noticed the age difference. No, not really. What? Are you implying that they look old? Nothing of the sorts anyway. So it looks like you were anchored here by love. That's pretty amazing. Yeah, you could call it that, or blindness or stupidity. Poor judgment maybe? Whatever sounds best to you. Pretend all you like. You fell hard for the grandpa with sad eyes and you know it. I did. He annoys me sometimes like somebody else. But yet I can't imagine breathing without him now. But don't let me go all soft on you. You surely got some place to go. It was a pleasure talking to you. Here, I know it's not much, but it will come in handy when starting a new life. Everything's got a cost these days. I really appreciate that, and I'm looking forward to charity. I'm not looking for a charity. I'll manage. Oh, come on, don't try to be a hero. Men, alright, do something for me then. It won't be a handout, just your first pay. That I can agree on. What do you need? There's a farmer in the village. She's called Yoranigre. She usually supplies the tavern with rye, but I haven't got anything from her in a while. My stock's almost gone, and you don't even want to imagine what would happen to these people if they run out of beer. Consider it done. While we're speaking of beer, you guys asked me to grab a couple for us. Of course, here you go. Awesome. So, deliver Unigos 2 oat ales. And I've got 6 apparently. Really? She gave me 6 ales? Sweet! Where is Unigos? In bed, probably. We'll have him in the morning. I think he might actually be in bed. There's my torch. Hey, you. Ah, we can wake him up. We can only wake some people up here to do quests, I think. Hey, Unigos, you're looking for those You're looking at the proud house owner from the valley. I'm back bearing beers. A job well done indeed. Alright, let me wet my throat with this amber goodness and start reminiscing. I knew Jordan for 22 years before he died. He was my best and truest friend. A brother, actually. I remember the day we met as if it was yesterday. I was 25 at the time, living in the big city of Yellenberg. Where I was born, you could say I hated that place. But still, it was the only home I ever knew. Maybe someday I'll tell you more about it. Anyway, I was forced to take care of my own, so I did. Doing the only thing I could do, stealing. You were a thief. I was, and a bloody good one, I might say. Picking pockets was my bread and butter. I could steal a piece of steak right from your fork, and you wouldn't even notice. It wasn't greed that motivated me, just survival. But I'd be lying if I said I wasn't. God, I can't read sometimes. But I'd be lying if I said I didn't enjoy the process. Stealing is still a crime, no matter the motivation. I'd say you'll want to wait to hear a bit more before getting all high and mighty on me. We had an annual festival at Yellenberg. I always brought a whole bunch of outsiders to town. You can imagine what that meant for a man in my profession. I could do a day's worth of work in a matter of minutes, grabbing a few coins here and there, some jewelry, a pair of new boots, and then I saw a nobleman with a money bag strapped to his belt, but it was basically begging to be set free. I sneaked behind him in the crowds like I did 1,000 times before. Child's Play gently grabbed the pouch, did a little shimmy and magic, and there it was, sitting neatly in my palm. Just needed to turn around and disappear, like always. And then, wham! I was punched in the face by what felt like a bull, and I was so shocked I didn't even realize what happened until I hit the ground. My head was pounding, I could barely see straight. And do you know what? And do you know what was the first thing I saw next? Another blow coming? Oh no, a smile, a big, radiant smile on the face of the man with two different eyes. This was your uncle Jordan, the one I took for a nobleman. He stuck his hand out, helped me get up, and offered me a beer. Did he realize you were just trying to rob him? Of course he did. That's just how Jordan was. You see, your uncle was deadly clever, smartest man I ever knew. Hands down, he could see the world like nobody else, predict things. He was always at least a dozen steps ahead of anyone else, so on a rare occasion that somebody surprised him, he was intrigued. And he wasn't expecting you. Indeed, apparently even despite my failure, I was still the one that came the closest to robbing him. And he liked that, so I'm guessing you accepted the invitation, right? I didn't really have a choice, did I? I was terrified of the guy at that moment, so we went. He took me to the most expensive and most crowded tavern in the whole town. Remember that it was the busy day of the festival. Even entering the place at was next to impossible. He didn't seem to care, though. In a matter of seconds, we were sitting at a table being served by two barmaids at the same time. It was surreal. In my mind, there was only one explanation. He owns the place. Did he? No, not at all. It was the first time in Yolleberg. It all felt like a dream, and to be honest, especially with me still being dazed after the punch, I was still sure he was a nobleman. His manners, his clothes, the way he talked and moved, and then he chugged a beer like it was a race, wiped his face on his sleeve, and burped like a drum. Charming. He went from the Lord of the Savage like that. I went from a Lord to the Savage like that. Snaps fingers. I relived that a moment a dozen times until I realised why he did that. It wasn't a mistake, oh no. No laziness and no moments of weakness. He wanted me to see, to understand it. He was full of crap. You see, Rasimir, your uncle was one of a kind. He was a true master of arms, and his weapon of choice was his confidence. Imagine a closed door with two armed guards at its side, and you want what's inside. What are your options? You can force yourself in, bribe the guards, try to pick the lock, but Jordan, He just holds his head up high, walks right in, demands the door to be opened. Interesting. You're right. That sounds like that sounds surreal. I never knew that about my uncle. My mother's stories were quite different. Because I'm afraid she knew a quite different Jordan than me, than everyone else, than everybody else in the pack. Oh dear, Rasimir, there is so much more you still don't know. Our story hasn't even really begun, but it's getting late. Yeah, it is, and let's skip through this bit. Oh wow, there's still a lot more. Maybe I shouldn't have skipped through this. Easy, my boy. It wasn't always fun and lovely, but it's a tale for another time. Okay, that is enough talking. We got a bit of talking, a bit of story. This torch, apparently I'm slightly drunk. Yeah, apparently I'm slightly drunk. Whoopsie. Never mind. Oh yeah, everything's slightly blurry. Well, there you go. Oh, that's very blurry. Wow, that messes with my eyes. But hey, we need to go rest. Yeah, we're going to go rest. And then, in the morning, we're going to look at getting everything set up. And build whatever we can. Ooh, well, no, everyone's gone to bed, so yeah, need to get home. The beer has almost worn off. Good. That means I'll be able to see straight. But anyway, that's going to do it for this video, because I'll see you in the next day when we're actually building stuff and we're not sleeping and just walking around. But so far it's very much the same as what it was in early access, but I do like the simple differences, like the little differences. And we will get into the different technologies and new stuff the next time round. So I hope everyone enjoyed this. My torch just broke. But if you did like this, remember to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and I shall see you next time for some more building, I guess. Building of the village and story time with Unighost, I guess. But have fun and enjoy the rest of your day.